My name is Tiina Karina O'Neill Renan Brunke Rodrigue, but I just go by Tiina Rodrigue. I originally came to Stafford, Virginia in June of 1999. I was looking for a place where my children could grow up, where we could have a house with land, have a good school district, a good quality of living. So I looked into the entire Metro DC area. And if you did the map, I was living up in Rockville, which is in Montgomery County, so I couldn't touch a rat-filled bungalow for the amount of house I could afford there. Coming around to Tacoma Park and Prince George's, there was a lot of crime. Same thing with the whole Anacostia area. Going around the other way, Fairfax, again, couldn't touch any money. Prince William didn't have a good school district. So the only place that had everything I was looking for was Stafford. So that's part of the reason why I started looking for a house. I looked for a house for 6 months until I found the one on Poplar Road that I'm at now, and we've been there ever since. And I thought of that place as my 20-year house, so that because my children were about to turn 2 and about to turn 5 at the time. So it was really important to have a good school district, to be able to have neighbors I could count on, and it was one of the few communities that had a temple. And so, although I didn't immediately join, because moving and everything, within a year or two, I joined the temple at the old location. And one of the first major things I got involved in was the Purim spiel. I got a call from Helga, and our Mordecai that year was your husband, Rob Jailbrack, and we, with the old Rabbi Jack and everything, we did a spiel right there on the bima. In fact, the Purim spiel is one of my favorite activities here at the temple. I, in fact, still participate in whatever fashion I can. This year I just helped write the script. The theme was Dr. Seuss. In previous years, we've done other things like a Star Wars-based parody of Purim Wars, and instead of Garrison Keillor's a Perry Home Companion, we did a Persian Home Companion, Purim Home Companion sort of thing. Purim is the festival of Easter, and Jews rejoice in the fact that we're not dead, that we were saved by Queen Esther. And so we recreate the Megillah, where we go through how Queen Esther was selected by King Ahasuerus to be his wife, and then how Haman was insulted by Mordecai and came up with picking lots, Purim, on the 14th of Adar. So this is celebrated on the 14th of Adar every year. And then how Esther outs Haman as a bad guy, and King Ahasuerus kills him and all his sons. And whenever we hear the name Haman, we boo. So that's the story that we retell every year, and it's a very fun time because we dress up and wear costumes and are generally very silly, which of course I love. Anything to take the edge off. But you know, Purim isn't the only thing I have done here at the temple. I have been on the board as the Vice President of Administration twice. I have taught Sunday school, I've taught Hebrew school, and right now, mostly I just volunteer as needed. I mean, what I really like about living in Stafford in general is the fact that you can have a very rural experience and still be close enough to everything that you would ever need or want from a cultural perspective, whether it's plays or going to a concert or just walking around town or a farmer's market, whatever it is that you would want out of what I would consider a good life, it exists in Stafford. I met my husband in Stafford. He is actually part of a 4th-generation blacksmithing firm. that is in this area. His parents live in Stafford, and they are actually following in the footsteps of George Washington's father. I don't know if you know, but he was the blacksmith originally, George Washington's father. So it's a proud tradition of local blacksmithery, if you will. Not farriers, they don't do horseshoes. They do the gates at the White House, for example, or Congressional Country Club, things along that line. My husband and I now both do IT, so we're just helping build the virtual infrastructure of America. I recently left federal service, and I'm now working for a small Silicon Valley startup, and I can work from home here in Stafford and just support cloud endeavors everywhere. And Brian works for a consulting firm that handles all sorts of things. He's working for a nonprofit right now. And I mean, those two original children, who were almost 2 and 5 when I started, are now almost 20 and almost 17. So, and they're about to both, well, one's already off at college and one's about to go to college, just got in. I'm about to start my doctoral program at GW, so we'll be doing that. And now with my new husband, we have 2 more kids who attend Sunday school here, and they are 4 and 5. So I have a whole new litter of children to put through their own Stafford story. Well, actually, I was thrilled to find out that the temple was moving closer to my house. I actually live about 5 miles from here. And I was glad that we were going to have a bigger space. The old temple, while charming, had already been filled to the maximum. In order to have bagel bar, we had to hang out in the basement, things along that line. And as far as I could tell, there wasn't much more room for expansion because they'd already added on to the back. So we would have had to buy a neighbor or something along that line in order to keep growing. So the fact that we got this land and then had to put a place on it was great. In fact, if I ever win the lottery, my plan is to do something with that reservoir and build a local JCC so that we could maybe buy the swimming pool over there so that we could actually have a Jewish community center here in Stafford, because the one up in Northern Virginia is so far, and who goes down to Richmond. So I love this location. I think that there's a lot more we could do with it. Yeah, I mean, because I've been here since 1999, it's been interesting because Stafford in general has 2 populations. One that comes and sticks, and apparently I'm in that one, and you'll just see them forever, like landscape markers. And then a very transitory, almost tidal population because of the military and how it is around here. So we've had a whole cast of characters come and go over the years here. And so the nice thing is that the population at our congregation is growing, not very fast, but at any given point we have, 100 families or more. And it seems like people join the temple when their children reach a certain age, when they're ready for education. So out of the woodwork come these secret Jews who you would never know that they were around until they want their children to be able to read from the Haggadah or the Megillah or what have you in the future. So, I mean, the population, the temple has grown. There's always new younger families joining, which I think is the lifeblood. And then we have those of us who intend to become savvy seniors someday. So no, I just feel really lucky that I found Stafford, that I moved here, and that I've been able to, raise my family here. it's been a great place.